Hello everyone and welcome back to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy and this is part 4 of my Willow square blanket crochet along, and this is just showing you quickly how to join your granny squares if you don't want that ridge that's in part 3. And this will just be done with a darning needle, which I've already threaded with the white corresponding edging yarn, so it's quite simple. And again, I start by going in the center of my 3 corner and go into the one on the opposite side, exactly the same on the corner, and just join them together, going through both loops. Leave a very long, generous tail because you really do need to secure these tails and sew them in ultra securely. Because, you know, there's nothing worse than seams coming undone. So I have been known to give this a little tie for now because we want it to stay secure. And that just keeps it there. So what we do is I go into the 2 loops, as if the same 2 loops that you would if you were going into the stitch. And then the corresponding on the other one, that we're doing this with the right side facing, and just sew it through. And this is just basic whip stitch, so you're going through those 2 and those 2 and pulling it down. You don't have to do it ridiculously tight, and it leaves this little slanted stitch, which I think actually looks really nice. I do like to whip stitch. I've either secured my squares with the method I showed you in part 3, or this way. It depends on the blanket. Sometimes I like them to look flat and sometimes I like them to have the ridge, but you know, it depends. Sometimes it sets it off to have that ridge and sometimes it looks better when it's flat. So you can see you've got a little slanted stitch going through there, and you just continue all the way down. Now when you get to the end, if you wanted to, behind here, you can go through like that and come out here ready to get another square and just start going along in the same method, because that way you won't show a curve if you've gone round. So if you just go through like that, come out this side on the 3rd one, or you know, on this, and you can then just secure it on the 3rd corner chain there, corner stitch, sorry, there, and start coming down this side. So you don't have to end off each time if you've got yarn to spare in your darning needle. But as long as you don't overdo that corner and make it look as if it's a curve, because that can spoil the look of your blanket. So that's just basically how to whip stitch them together. So it's going through exactly the same two parts of the stitch that you would if you were inserting your crochet hook like this, and going through the same ones on the corresponding side and just simply sewing them together. So I'm not going to carry on any further because I'm not doing mine like this. I'm going to secure mine with the ridge, so I don't really want to sew any further and have to unpick the whole thing. But it looks effective, just as nice. In fact, I undid it. I undid the other one because I wanted to show you on the same squares. I could have left it and shown you a comparison, which would have been better, but never mind. So it still gives you that little bit down the centre, which is slightly raised, but it's not the same as the other one. So that's whip stitch. There is another method which I will quickly show you, and this works really well if your squares are not edged in a colour. As long as you're using one of the colours that's in the blanket and you go in the reverse side, again you secure it with the 3rd one of the corner, but you're only going into the back loop, not both loops of that stitch. So you go in each one, and as again I will just give that a little tie to make it secure, and then going through those back loops only. We catch just those two. It doesn't pull it so that it's baggy, because I know that that was my worry when I first started to do this, was that because you're not going through the whole stitch, it would elongate the stitch, but it doesn't. So you just go through those back loops and whip stitch all the way down. I'm going to have to undo all these to make my blanket. So, right, I'll go a bit further. And what this actually does, by going in those only, and again, you can go around the corner exactly the same way, but if you look, then you don't get that line across and you get an invisible, because if that was a different colour, so if you had only the blue and the purple and you hadn't gone round it with white, and you used blue or you used this purple, that would be an invisible join all the way down. And so it just secures, so you don't see it from the front, and you get this little line going down here, which is just the other side of those stitches, those other loops. But that's going through the back, and that gives you a lovely invisible join. So that's 3 methods. So hopefully one of those is going to suit you. If not, pop a little note in the description and tell me how you like to secure your squares. It may be a little bit different to mine, but it'd be great to hear from you. So thanks so much for watching. And once again, if you wouldn't mind, just pop in onto that little subscribe button and the bell. You'll get informed when there are new videos. And if you could, please like and share this video, because I'm really trying to grow this channel and bring you more content like this. So thanks so much for watching, and bye bye for now.